Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Arcane and Stellar, and I'm here with another pick-a-card reading. So this reading was a request. I think it was Trixie who requested it, but I can't remember. She also requested the, I think, previous reading was on the channel as well. But this is their first impression of you versus how they see you now. Okay, so you can apply this to different people in your life. Pick a pile maybe for different people and see how they resonate. But we have piles 1, 2, 3, and 4. And as you can see, we have decks today. So that means I'm going to be live shuffling. I will make sure to put timestamps down below so that you can skip that part. You don't have to watch all the shuffling if you don't want to. So those will be down in the description and comment box as well. The description box and the comment box, the comment section. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your support, your loving comments. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, thank you guys especially that have been supporting, my family at this time. I really appreciate it, and things have been getting a little bit better. But yeah, if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, as always, that's down in the description box. I have Etsy, and then I have my wish list. You know what I mean? You'll see the details down below about that. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So go ahead and pick your pile. Take time to, see which one draws you in, and go find your timestamps, okay? And I'll see you in your reading. Okay, so if you chose pile number 1, and this is with Celestite, this is your reading. So let's see, how does your person, how did they see, what was their first impression versus how they see you now? So we're going to go ahead and look at that. So I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling. See here. Okay, that clearly wants to come out. For some of you, it might be that you were like leader of children. I'm going to say that doesn't have to be the case. Maybe you were just the leader of the pack in childhood, or maybe you're a teacher, or maybe you somehow lead children, and maybe you're a parent, depending, something about that. For some of you, it could be that their first impression of you was that you perhaps had a very strict family, or maybe that you came from a family in which perhaps maybe your creativity was stifled at times. That's just for some of you. Take this as it resonates. As well, maybe you were starting something new in your life, something that was just emotionally satisfying, and you were really trying to, but you were trying to bring in a sense of leadership, of tactics, a very tactical person. And then with the 6 of Swords here, moving away, for some of you, it may be that you were starting to go out on your own. Maybe you recently left your childhood home, starting out somewhere new, or starting over in some way, healing from something that happened before. For some of you, it could have been that you left, a relationship. Let's see here. I'm going to see how they see you now, so that I can start to bring that in. She's just going to clean her feet right here, right now. Okay. Oh, wow. I love it. Versus how they see you now. Okay. So, I'm going to say this real quick. With that Page of Cups versus the Queen of Cups, I definitely see that this person has seen a lot of emotional growth. So how they see you now is much more emotionally mature than when they first met you. If they met when they first met you, their first impression of you, yeah, you might have been a little bit emotionally immature, or perhaps, you were just excited for life, bubbly. Maybe you're pursuing something that you loved, and now, no. And now it's more like you're much more mature, much more developed. Wow, she's going to be naughty, I think. I definitely see a better sense of balance. It's interesting that we have 2 6s. The 6 is like, walking away from things. And then now it's like, I feel like you're in a better place now, that they see you as being in a better place, being in a place to help people more. Perhaps you had desires before when they first met you to help people, to lead people in some way. Maybe that was part of your plan. Stop that, Snooki. You're rude. That's not how we're going to act. Oh my god, she's naughty. She's going to knock this off. Honey, your claw's going to get stuck in there. That's really some BS here. So somebody who, perhaps, yeah, like I said, was walking away from something, but now it's like you're in a much better position here. They're seeing you as somebody who's very giving and kind. Perhaps when they first met you, like I said, you had high ideals for what you could do with whatever it is, whether it was something artistic or something that just emotionally satisfied you, or maybe you were just really wanting to help people in some way. And now they see you as being in that position to actually help people. For many of you, I really feel like you did turn a lot of your dreams into reality, or you're well on your way. And their impression of you now is that you're capable of it, that you have the maturity to do this. This could have been, one of those things where, their first impression of you was that you were, perhaps a little bit younger or more immature. But I am definitely seeing a sense of balance here with justice. This person, is seeing you as very balanced, as someone who is very, perhaps where maybe you charged in before with the Emperor energy, but they might have seen you as a bit, maybe sometimes, not abrasive, but maybe more calculating. It's calculating, but in a more fair way. Sometimes the Emperor could be unfair, you know what I mean? And I see that, now they're seeing you as someone who's very fair, or at least trying to be very fair and balanced. I do feel like that they see you as somebody who tries to give back a lot, to some kind of cause. And like I said, it's just a general reading, so it could resonate a little bit differently with everyone. But they do see you as a very kind and giving person. Yeah, especially too with that Queen of Cups. Let me see. I'd like to... Let's see. How did they see? What was their first impression about number 1? Yeah, the 4th house comes out in the first impression of you. Oh, wow, okay. The 4th versus 11th house. For some of you, and I think this could be for quite a few of you, this person might have met you when you were kind of leaving home and getting out in the world. The 11th house talks about friendships and groups, organizations, volunteer work, goals, dreams. It was like you were kind of breaking out in some way from your background, from your home, from what was comfortable. So not all of you had to have been leaving home, but maybe you were stepping out of your comfort zone, the ways you were raised, and to get into society. Is what I'm seeing there. And how do they see you now? Second house. Oh, yeah. So seeing it be, with that second house and the 6 of Pentacles, the second house talks about the, it's the house of Taurus, right? In a traditional chart. And it talks about finances, wealth, material goods, of physical items, you know what I mean? It's, ruled by Venus as well. So sharing your wealth, sharing yourself, trying to help people, being very giving. And without grudges. You give without grudge. You know what I mean? Without any grudge or any, negative feelings. You're not a selfish person, I don't feel like, at all. And they really, I think, admire that about you. I'm just going to throw that in there because I admire that about you. It seems like you are a very giving person. And even if it's not finances, say you're not that rich, it doesn't have to mean that you're, super mega rich. It just means that you give what you have and what you can. You'll make someone food, right, Taurus? You'd make someone a meal. You'd help them out in very physical ways. You'd say, here, let me help you move this. Let me help you do this. And then we have semi-sextile, which is about allowing, as you see here. So it says encourages, sees the potential, and clarifies, gives hope to, compensates, intuits, tempers, responds, cycles, grows, realizes, rewards. I feel like, yeah, you're someone who likes to encourage people, that you try to help people. You may see the potential in people that other people don't see, and you want to help them grow it. I just feel like there's this, I feel very positive vibes here. Now, I like to take some charms. So let me get out my charm board. And let's do this. I got some new charms yesterday. And let me mix them up pretty good. So let's do this person's first impression. So, first impression. So we've got, you are my sunshine. So they probably, saw you as a very sunny person. The Page of Cups is somebody who's very optimistic and could have a very sunny disposition. Even if it's seen as immature, immature isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it may seem that your goals are lofty or that you have high ideals. And maybe you, with the Pages, it's a lot about, they have, it's just like when you're young and you have like lots of ideas and and dreams, and you're sure you can accomplish them, right? And I think it's a beautiful energy to be in. And I feel like you brought sunshine to this person's life in some way. You had a sunny disposition. We also have me versus me. So, with that, with the Emperor versus the Page of Cups, that really reminds me of the fact that perhaps you were trying to be optimistic yet still analytical at the same time. It was like you versus you in getting things done. You know what I mean? It was kind of you versus you, as I said already. But yeah, and then they saw a star potential here, star quality in you, of somebody that could really bring a lot of light to the world, is what I'm getting here with the star and sunshine. We also have Gemini, and Gemini is intelligent, so they saw you as very intelligent. The Emperor is a very intelligent person, somebody who can really plan things out and think things through. And we also have love coming out, so they saw you as a very loving person. Perhaps they've had feelings of love for you, if that resonates. And it doesn't have to be romantic. This is a general reading, so I'm not going to try to make it into anything particular. But yeah, there could have been love there as a first impression. And then we have Cancer and Aquarius here as well. So these signs are represented. Cancer, again, 4th house in their first impression. That's funny because, yeah, the 4th house is the ruler. It's usually the traditional placement of Cancer, right? And seeing you as somebody who's very sweet, emotional, and loving, kind, again, I feel like many of you could have been breaking away from your home roots, or something about your home was very prevalent to them. And then with Aquarius, thinking differently, it's 11th house. Wow, 11th house. Yeah, the 11th house is in Aquarius house, right? Pisces is the 12th, Aquarius is the 11th. So again, that transition from home to community. That's cool. I love that those came out. Okay, let's see what their impression of you now is. I'm going to just go ahead and close my eyes. There we go. Okay. Wow. That's crazy how that's happening. Okay, look at that. What came out? Taurus came out. Like, you remember I said the 2nd house is with Taurus? Trustworthy. You're a very trustworthy person. You have those Taurus qualities. Could be very beautiful. Taurus is Venus, ruled by Venus. We also have angels watching over me and this skull and bones. They might have seen you go through perhaps some of you have had a death happen in your family or in your life somewhere. And maybe they're seeing you as being very guided by your family or friends who have passed over, or your angel, you know what I mean? Feeling like you, I'm just feeling that. Maybe you've gone through some dangerous situations, and they've seen you, seem like you are watched by angels. So like maybe you've been in an accident or something's happened where it's like, wow, you know, like that you've gone through things with the 1% battery. This person may see you, especially with that B here, they may see you as very overworked, very busy, always giving, and maybe they think that you're running low on energy. So that might be an impression that they have of you right now and how they're seeing you. Nevertheless, we have a star coming up here. It does seem like, you know, they feel like you're a little bit magical, that you make things happen. Because we also have, again, live your dream, and she believed she could, so she did. You don't have to be a she. But, yeah, they see that you get things done. You make your dreams come true, that you're trying to, at least. And with always, you know, and we have a heart there, they probably always will have feelings for you. They always care about you. You're always in their heart. And then, yeah, let's see what else we have. We have, oh, Scorpio. So, and then we also have the Scorpio sign showing up, which is, you know, maybe some of you are Scorpios. Or not, you know, but it might be Scorpio-like qualities, helping other people. For some of you, might help other people with their finances. I'm not sure. For some of you, just take that if it resonates. Because the Scorpio is usually in the 8th house. That's its natural placement. So other people's money, taboos. Maybe you just help people that have had addictions, or help people that have been through needing transformation. But you're somebody that's healing in some way and able to dig deeper into the emotions of people. I feel like you're much more mature and knowledgeable than you were when they first met you, or their first impression at least. You know what I mean? You have a lot more depth than they realized, is what I'm thinking here. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and stop here because this has been quite long. And I don't want to bore you guys. So that's what I'm seeing for, you know, their first impression versus how they're seeing you now. If it resonates, let me know. If you chose pile number 1, let me know so that I can give your comment a heart. And if you'd like a personal reading, it's all down in the description box. There's Etsy, so you can buy a reading through there. 1 question, 2 questions. I still have a Women's Day sale going on, so you can get a 2-question reading. There's still some left in stock. A 2-question reading for $25 instead of $28. And then as well, of course, there's my wish list. Wish lists are, you know, gifts are always appreciated, and they always get a reading in return. So just make sure to leave your email and let me know that you know how to contact you, so that I can give you a reading in return as a thank you. So with that being said, guys, I will see you all in the next reading. Take care. Hi guys, so if you chose pile number 2 with this Bornite or Peacock's Oar, this is your reading. So I'm going to be live shuffling real quick, and if you want to skip that, I think that you should see the timestamp already, because I'm going to make sure it's visible. So if you're here for this, hello. Let's shuffle these cards. Okay. Wow. Okay, we'll see if the Queen of Coins had a lot. That was, yeah. Okay, let's see. And then what's their impression of you now? Oops. Oh wow, sorry about that. There's a stampede above. Dogs. Sorry. Wow, okay. That's too many of them. Let's see. How do they see them now? Okay. So let's see. How their first impression of you is coming out as the Empress, the 8 of Wands, and the 2 of Pentacles. And then how they see you now is showing up as the Six of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. So let's see. With the Empress here, they saw you, their first impression is that you're a very beautiful person, a very giving person, a very loving person. But again, I think beauty and is going to be very emphasized here with the Empress in their terms of their first impression. They thought of you as kind of a bit of a goddess or a god, depending on your gender. There's maybe perhaps some feminine qualities to you that were just very enticing to this person. We also have, for some of you, there could have been instant sexual attraction here, if that resonates, you know, if it's that type of relationship. But they saw you as a motherly figure, perhaps too, for some of you. Doesn't have to be if it's, you know, not sexual. It could be that they just saw you as somebody who is very nurturing, caring, loving, like a mother. And it doesn't have to mean that they literally saw you as a mother, just with those qualities, right? And I had seen the Queen of Coins there, so that's kind of like the minor arcana version of the Empress too. So somebody who's got their stuff together, that, you know, likes to, they may have saw you somebody who likes to take care of themselves, and that doesn't have to always mean that you put on, you know, a pound of makeup, or they just saw you with beauty, you know what I mean? Somebody who knows how to take care of themselves. So maybe you dressed in a way that was appealing to them, or you took care of yourself in a way that was very appealing to them. We also have the Eight of Wands. You could have been somebody who gets around a lot, that travels a lot, that talks a lot, that's just very active here with the Eight of Wands. So if it wasn't like, for instance, like, you know, talking a lot or like being quite active physically, it could have been that you traveled a lot, or they thought that was their impression of you, that you're kind of a traveler of some kind, or somebody who likes to get around. As well with the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles, they saw you as somebody who's very juggling a lot, I feel like. Maybe you had a lot of different things you were doing in your life, and you were just sort of busy doing them, like a busy bee. Let's see. What was their first impression? Wow, okay, sorry. That was too many. Semi-sextile is coming out, so allowing. And Pluto. Interesting. Well, Pluto is all about transformation, right? It's about diving deep. It's about renewing yourself. It's about transforming yourself. It's about having, like it says, basic instincts, good instincts. Going through death and rebirth. You may have been going through something at that point of your life in which you were kind of like renewing yourself or transitioning somehow, maybe out of a relationship or out of a certain area of your life. Sometimes Pluto can be a bit intense, so perhaps they saw you as very intensely going after what you want and trying to balance a lot, and just a very busy person. With that semi-sextile, it's like about, it's a positive aspect in astrology, and like you see the keyword allowing, and it says encourages, sees the potential, and clarifies, gives hope to, compensates, intuits, tempers, responds, cycles, grows. So again, cycles are coming up again, growing, some growth. And I do feel like you were at you know, you had a lot of potential for growth with the Empress, because the Empress grows things, you know, and makes things happen and brings things into being. So I feel like you were, in terms of the first impression, they did see you like really growing your life, perhaps after some kind of transformation. So let's see their impression of you now. Venus and the third house. Okay, now in terms of their impression of you now, we've got the Six of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. They might see you being a little bit blocked off from them. I don't know if you guys have had some issues. Maybe they feel like you're moving away from them, that you are a bit reserved, and it could just be with your finances. Maybe you're saving and working really hard. I do see this working hard. You still work hard. I feel like this person sees you're still really trying to make things happen in your life. You might have a bit of a better balance on it with the Eight of Pentacles. And I feel like you're they see you as much more careful with yourself now and your resources than maybe you were before. So you could be saving a lot, taking care of your finances, but it also could be a little bit of a blocked energy. Maybe you're just being protective of yourself. Maybe you're being protective of your body, of your health. Yeah, and then with the Six of Swords again too is you know, moving into calmer waters. I feel like they're seeing you as much more relaxed, I guess I would say. And then we have Venus here. So beauty, harmony, romance, charm, sensuality, luxury, wealth. I do feel like they see you as trying to build your wealth in some way. Venus is connected, of course, to Taurus, which is, you know, in the 2nd house, of course. And then the 7th house, partnerships, Libra, right? So with Venus, it does seem like there's a focus on your finances, on making wise choices and partnerships, trying to, you know, bring love into your life in different ways, through material things, through relationships, healthy relationships, hopefully. Yeah, which is, I do feel that's the case there with the Six of Swords. I see you trying to bring in better things than maybe you've experienced before. And then we have the 3rd house, perception. The 3rd house talks about, well, speech, first of all. It can talk about communicating, writing, siblings, immediate family as well. That's not on here, but that's a thing too. Short trips. You may travel a little bit sometimes. With the Six of Swords too, they might see you in that way as making, you know, a lot of little trips. Let's see what else. For some of you, you might post a lot of pictures of your little trips or excursions, and they look at those and they seem like, oh, you know, they're so beautiful. Yeah, the social media, they might admire you on social media if you have that, if that, you know, resonates with you. Let's see. I would say that this person still finds you very attractive, though. They still think that you're a very good-looking person here with Venus coming out as well. Let's see. You might be a charming writer, too. That might be an impression that they have of you. You still may communicate a lot, like that, like when I was talking about the communication. Okay, let's get some charms. So, their first impression. Oh, wow. Sorry, I forgot my board. There we go. Let me get that right there. Let's see, Leo, Capricorn, Virgo. Okay. Maybe you're a little bit, lately, their impression might be that you're a little bit frustrated. With that Four of Pentacles, sometimes it can be kind of a stubborn energy. So maybe they're seeing you as being a bit stubborn right now. We also have To Do, the To Do charm. So it says, drink tea, make shit, pet animals, die. So it's just like you might have a lot on your to-do list. Maybe you get frustrated sometimes about that. Maybe you just have a lot to do, a lot of responsibilities right now. We also have Virgo coming up here and Capricorn. So a lot of working hard, a lot of, perhaps even like, the Virgo's on the 6th house, right? So that's about daily activities. This person may just have the impression of you right now, or had the impression of you, before. This is the first one. So they might have seen you as somebody who's very frustrated and had a lot to do with that Two of Pentacles, sorry. And then, again, with the Leo card, the Leo charm coming out, it says generous. Somebody that's very, like I said, giving with the Empress, generous, beautiful, right? Somebody they might have seen you as somebody who's a bit focused on their looks. But not only that, because we have, like, again, I said Virgo and Capricorn, the 6th and 10th house. There's a lot of daily tasks, a lot of public recognition. Maybe when they first met you, you're really trying to build something on social media. That could be something. Even though social media is in the 11th house, kind of. Well, it can be in the 3rd house too. But also the 10th house, right? Because it's about being out in the public speaking. Yeah, Yeah, someone who's very hardworking. And then this is actually a Shakespeare quote, and I felt like so stupid when someone finally told me that. Actually, a few of you commented about that. And every fair from fair sometimes declines. I think that's what it says. And I felt stupid because I have an English degree, guys. in language and literature. And I have done Shakespeare, but I haven't ever run across this quote, actually. I guess in my studies and my own reading of Shakespeare. But basically, I think it talks about, somebody was saying that it's talking about aging. So perhaps they thought you looked good for your age, or that you would age with grace. It reminds me of that song by Bastille, Oblivion. Ooh, that's a good song. Check it out. And it just popped into my head. So that's what I'm seeing for their first impression. Now let's get some charms for how they see you now. Let me mix them up a bit. Try not to do that too close to the microphone so I don't hurt your ears. Okay, we have the little doggy or the ghost dog. Pisces. Time. Virgo. Okay, Virgo came out with that 6th house. You remember I was talking about the 6th house in previously? So I think they still see you as someone who's very busy all the time. We have practical as well. So on the back of that charm. So they do see you as someone who's still very busy, very engaged in the day-to-day activities. We also have busy. That the clock here is ticking again, aging, coming up, time passing. Not that they see you as aging, but that you're just very busy, that you maybe you don't have a lot of time. With Pisces, though, showing up here, they might see that maybe that's just an indication that you have Pisces in your chart for some of you, but it could also mean that you're just, very, maybe you are becoming a bit more receptive than you've been before. Maybe you're more interested in love, and maybe before you were, but it's different now. Maybe you're much more emotional than you used to be. Not that the Empress isn't, but perhaps they also see you as making sacrifices. Pisces are very good at sacrifice. The 12th house is a house of sacrifices. It's where we can make sacrifices in our life. So maybe they see you as sacrificing a lot to get what you want. We also have the love between a grandmother and granddaughter is forever. So maybe, a grandmother is important in your life. And they're seeing that at this time. And then we have the question mark from Mario. So what do you think of this? Oh, well, I know that I play Mario, and so it's like kind of like you jump and hit it with your head, and then you don't know what's going to come out. You hope something good comes out, like a mushroom or something that's going to give you some extra points. So maybe there are some question marks in your life, or you're just trying to make things happen, hit those things and collect the rewards, and it's just part of your daily life. With Jack from The Nightmare Before Christmas, maybe you're wishing to make something different, to bring something different into your life, and you're working really hard to make that happen. So that could be their impression of you right now, and I hope that helps you understand more. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys that chose pile number 2. I hope that helps you and that you like the reading. If you chose pile number 2, I'd love to hear about it, and let me know so I can give your comment a heart. And if you'd like to have a personal reading with me, you can do that. Find out all that information down below in the description box. I have Etsy. I have my wish list. You can buy the 1, 2, 3 questions, 6-month predictions on my Etsy. And then as well, there's a Mother's Day special right now, and there are still some left. I think there might be maybe 15 left in stock right now. And it's basically a 2-question reading for $25 instead of $28. I'll just let it run out. I'm going to keep it up there until it sells out. So that's an option too. And then, of course, if you give me anything on my off of either of my wish lists, give me an email so I can give you a reading as a thank you. That's another option as well. So take care, guys, and I hope to see you all in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hi guys, so you chose pile number 3, and this is I think blue calcite. This is your reading. So let's see, I'm going to be live shuffling, so of course you can skip that if you don't want to. If not, we're going to be shuffling these live. And let's see, so your person's pile number 3's person's first impression of them. What was their first impression of you? The Star. Four of Wands. Oh, good. These are nice. Let's see here. Pile number 3. Two of Cups. Wow. Okay, that's good. And then what do they? How did they see you now? How did they see you now? What's their impression of you now? The Emperor coming out. Eight of Wands. Ooh, a lot of fiery energy in the now. Okay, there we go. Page of Pentacles. So, let's see. Your person's first impression of you. We have the Star, the Four of Wands, and the Two of Cups. So, definitely saw you as somebody that was I'm definitely with this Two of Cups and the Star. I'm seeing them. Their impression of you was that you were a star in some way, that you were an ideal, that you were something that they wished for. Somebody very magical, somebody where the connection was very, maybe there was just an instant connection here, in feelings of, again, like a wish come true in some way. They saw you as very beautiful, as they might have idolized you in some way as well. Let's see, with this Two of Cups, let's see. So this could have been an instant romantic connection for some of you, or it could have been that they just had an instant friendship with you, like where you just were able, oh wow, we have Gemini down here, so maybe it was like communication was just immediately very easy for you guys. That they definitely, yeah, they had a curiosity about you. It may have been like in social settings, they just saw you. For some of you, it may have been that their impression was that they felt this connection to you, but maybe they were almost afraid to approach you here with the Star. But I feel like they did. For, you know, many of you, they did approach you, because with that Four of Wands, we have, you know, two people. We have this connection, so definitely a strong connection, perhaps physically and emotionally. And we also have square, challenge. So squares, you know, in astrology, talk about, yeah, challenges between two planets. Can be sometimes a frustrating thing to deal with. It's usually where we have some of our difficulties in life, wherever these squares are in our chart. But it also can motivate you to do better. So there might have been some challenges in the beginning between the two of you. And maybe that's why the Star is there, because maybe it couldn't quite work out in some way, or they felt like it couldn't quite work out in some way. I don't feel like it's the more negative parts, like where it could be hurt. There could have just been tension too, sexual tension, but I don't feel like it's a more negative aspect. So in terms of the square, because the square is not always bad. It just, sometimes it brings growth. You know, oh, we have the Tower. So there could have been a little bit of a Tower moment when they first met you, going on between the two of you. Some kind of challenges again, like something falling apart. Let's see. So that's what I'm seeing for, you know, their first impression. Somebody who is very, yeah, again, very beautiful, very easy to talk to, an instant connection. The butterfly, the social butterfly. Even if you're not a social butterfly, it's that, you know, they could talk to you, they could open up to you. Perhaps you guys had a lot in common, and they're like, wow, we have a lot in common. That's crazy, you know. Now, in terms of how they see you now, we have the Emperor, the Eight of Wands, the Page of Pentacles. Now they're seeing you as working hard towards something with that Page of Pentacles. Maybe some of you have started studying or working somewhere, or you're just kind of building your life. With the Emperor, again, taking leadership role, taking charge. And again, with the Eight of Wands, going forward. So for some of you, they get to use traveling. But again, just moving quickly towards something and trying to, you know, get what you want out of life is what I'm seeing here with all of these cards, the Emperor and the Page of Pentacles. I feel like you might still be in the beginning of that. If there was sexual attraction before, I feel like that still exists. We also have Chiron coming out, so let's see what else. Now. And the semi-sextile coming out. So I think the semi-sextiles come out in like every pile so far. That's funny. The semi-sextile is a positive aspect. It's like kind of like a trine in astrology, and it's about growing things, right? It's about allowing things. It's about, oh gosh, the word I'm looking for is there's a lot of potential. They see a lot of potential in you. And I feel like a lot of what they're seeing you now is I feel like the basis of this is already there. You know, the relationship, that was her first impression. That was kind of that's why it's not really here now, because maybe your relationship's developed or you're just in a different area in life right now. But they are seeing you as really growing yourself and allowing things to happen. We also have Chiron, healing. Again, it's about growth. There's a lot of growth, you taking charge of your life, moving forward maybe from insecurities that you've had before, and really, because maybe there were certain insecurities you did have when you first met them, and maybe that was part of their first impression. It was helping you try to get through some of these things. Maybe they were emotionally supportive. Maybe they were somebody, they felt like, and vice versa, maybe for them as well. Maybe you helped them grow. And now they're seeing, and they might see you as a like leader, somebody that they could turn to for advice, somebody that knows what they're talking about, that has plans. I see a lot of communication here still with that Eight of Wands as well. So let's take some charms for you in terms of their first impression. So I'm gonna try to mix these up while away from the microphone. Okay, I'm going to close my eyes and grab a few. Okay. Let's see. Oops, one fell down. So let's see what we've got here. Oh, Virgo. What is this one supposed to be? Is this supposed to be Aquarius, right? Wow, I thought another one was Aquarius. What was that? Or maybe that is an Aquarius charm, the other one I had. But we have Angel. We have the Fist. Let's see. The Arthur's Fist. The Key. Wow, okay, so we are seeing a lot of freedom and magic here with the Horse and the Unicorn. They are seeing as very capable of magic. Maybe you're more freer. Like, I love that. It represents that Eight of Wands. I feel like charging forward, making things happen. A quick movement, free movement. We also have the Moon here. So there could be an intuitive connection between the two of you still here with that Two of Cups as a first impression. That was kind of where I feel like that's... Oh, wow. This is the first impression, though. But still... They saw you as a mover. I think they still see you that way. And then with the Moon, again, that Two of Cups reminds me of that intuitive connection and supportive connection. Oh, Gemini. That's what this is right here. Sorry, not Virgo. What in the hell was I thinking? Gemini, again, is coming up here in the charms. Wow, okay. So definitely that yeah, you might have felt like with the Two of Cups, they might have, their first impression was that maybe you're like their long-lost twin, or that you guys had such a cool connection here. And then, again, Aquarius. Maybe you're a bit quirky. Their first impression that was you're a bit different, a bit quirky. The Star is actually associated, I think, with Aquarius as well. So that's funny that it showed up twice in the cards. I mean, the charms are reflecting the signs that came up. And that doesn't mean you have to be these signs. It just means that, you know, you have these qualities. With Aquarians, you know, they're very quirky type of people, very interesting, unique. They have a different way. We have a lot of air qualities here too. So definitely somebody that they felt they could communicate with right away. We have the key here, so perhaps you had some key to knowledge, and maybe their first impression was that you had a lot to offer them, to unlock for them. And I feel like you have, with that Chiron card coming out now, in the now, versus then. It's like they instinctively knew that you could somehow open something within inside of them. We also have angels watching over me, so they might have saw you as having people in your life past that watched over you, or just being very protected in life. We also have love. So I do feel like this could have been a love at first sight type of thing. And it doesn't have to mean like romantic love. That just take that as it resonates. But there's definitely feelings of love. We also have the little extra life from Mario pin coming out. So they might have seen you as having an extra life in some way. Maybe you could give them an extra life, like you gave them some kind of help, and maybe you don't even know that you did. But yeah, and then we also have of course, Arthur's frustration, his frustrated fist. So maybe they saw you as having some challenges in your life that you were frustrated about as well in their first impression of you, because we have that square, you remember? And so they might have seen you as being a little bit, maybe you had some burdens here with the cross. The cross often reminds me of burdens. But there could have also been a spiritual sense to you too, so take that as it resonates. So let's see what their impression of you now is. So we have Sally, little ghost dog, Jack. Oh, we're getting a lot of signs out here now. Pisces, Libra, like Capricorn, or Taurus. Sorry, Taurus. I think that's Taurus. And then Aquarius again, Pegasus, and Aquarius. Wow, so two Aquariuses right next to each other. I don't know if some of you guys might be Aquariuses. You might be a little bit different and unique. We have kind, free, true, brave, strong, happy, thankful, compassionate. So, I mean, they obviously think a lot of you right now. They see you as very... and with all these signs coming up, I feel like you just have a little bit of everything. You've got some earth, you've got some air, you've got some water, you've got... Again, there's this balanced quality to you where you kind of have all the attributes combined in a very positive way. Because here we have fire and earth, and so there's a passion into you, especially like for freedom here with this Pegasus. There's, you go after what you want, and you're very, again, like look at that, the Eight of Wands in this Pegasus here, going towards what you want and making it happen. You may, yeah, like with this Aquarius, it says friendly. So you're somebody still that they see as very friendly. Here with Jack and Sally, there may be a romantic connection here. This is an OTP, one true pairing. And so they may see you as, oh, and with the little ghost dog, I wonder if they want to have a family with you. For some of you, take that if it resonates. But they might see you as just like, they're true pair, like, you know what I mean, they really see, even if it's a friendship, it's like you guys are just connected very well. You balance each other out very well. They feel like you balance them out, that you bring a lot of goodness to them, that you bring a lot of healing to them. Again, I feel like they really appreciate the Aquarian qualities of you. And we all have Aquarius somewhere in our chart, right? And they appreciate that part of you. And for me, that's in my 7th house, but wherever that's going to fall for you, it might have us, be in maybe it's on an angle house, 1st, 7th, 10th, 4th, or maybe it's just prominent somewhere in your chart. But it does seem like, with a planet there or something like that. But it does seem like they really admire those Aquarian type of qualities. Free thinking, a little bit different. Maybe you always have a lot to say, and they just appreciate your uniqueness, is what I'm feeling here. See, and you know, they say that Aquarians lack emotion, but that's not true. And we also have Pisces here showing up. So it's like, even though you have maybe some of these ideas that are different, they still see you as very grounded and emotional and balanced. So that's great, you know. It's not any of the negative qualities there. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you guys that chose pile number 3. And I'm going to go ahead and put these away. And because I don't want to make this too long for you, because I've already, oops, I dropped one. I've already kind of made this a bit long. And I know this isn't always my usual format, but I just felt like live shuffling today. But anyways, guys, that's what I've got for you. And I hope that you liked it. If you picked pile number 3, let me know in the comments below, so I can give your comment a heart. And yeah, if you want a personal reading with me, you can do that through Etsy or through my wish list. It's all down in the description box. Just be sure, if you get something off my wish list, to leave an email so I can contact you and find you easily. Instagram or email is good, so then I can let you know that I'm thankful and that I'd like to give you a reading as a thank you. So yeah. Oh, also, by the way, there's a Women's Day special. There are still some in stock. I think there are about 15 left in stock right now. So it's a 2-question reading for $25 instead of $28. So there's 10% off on that reading. And yeah, anyways, guys, I will see you all in the next reading. Take care. Hi, guys. So if you chose pile number 4 with the appetite, this is your reading. So let's see. What was your person's first impressions of you versus how they see you now? Let's get into it. So I'm going to be shuffling now, live. And you can skip that in the timestamps. I'm pretty sure you already have. If those of you have chosen to skip, I've already skipped. So let's see. Wow, we have the Two of Cups coming out again. That came out in the last pile as the first impression. Let's see, first impression. Ooh. Ooh. The Seven of Swords. Let's see. How do they see pile number 4 now? Wow, that's crazy. I love it. Love it. How do they see now? Pile number 4. Oh, okay, that was too many. How do they see that? Oh my god, that's so many. One at a time, please. Okay. There we go. Temperance. Wow. Okay. So pile number 4. What was your person's first impression of you? Well, we have the Two of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. They really felt an instant friendship or connection with you, or even romantic attachment. Take that as it resonates, depending on the type of relationship you have with this person. But there was just this sense of connection. They wanted to get to know you more. Now with the Page of Swords and the Seven of Swords, you may have been a bit hard to get to know. So it's like, even though they craved this and they wanted this, you may have been a bit elusive. With the Page of Swords, though, maybe there were times where maybe you were a little bit, maybe you seemed a little bit rude. It's like they wanted to get to know you, but it's just like you came off a bit rude or guarded. Again, maybe somebody who would take off early from parties or just kind of disappear. And maybe they didn't know where you left. What else am I seeing here? Maybe sometimes some of the things you could say were a little bit rude at times, or maybe you came off as abrasive at times. But it's like, despite that, they still were so drawn to you. You know what I mean? They couldn't help it. There was just something about you that drew them right in. Because I do think that there was a connection there, like an emotional connection. Let's see. Pile number 4 is person's first impression. Pile number 4 is first impressions. Oh my god. Okay, with Virgo coming out and Pisces, Could be that with Virgo, sometimes you can be a little bit, Virgos can be a little bit critical. We also have semi-sextile coming out again. This has come out in all the piles. With that semi-sextile, it's about allowing, and it reminds me a lot of the trine. It's a flowing type of energy. This person really saw a lot of potential in your friendship, even despite maybe some of your, and it could be that you were just shy, but you came off as if you were a little bit like guarded or rude, maybe. You know what I mean? That's the type of friend that's like, oh, when I first met you, I thought you didn't like me, or I thought you were rude. You know what I mean? But they saw potential in you is what I see. And Pisces and Virgo. So again, Virgo, sometimes Virgos can seem a little bit critical at times. I have many Virgo friends. I love them, and I definitely go to them when I want an honest opinion. For sure. It's interesting that it says Virgo, it says discerning, and that reminds me a lot of that Page of Swords. Somebody who's trying to figure things out. Somebody who's careful, who watches from the background a little bit. That is maybe at times solitary. See, it says solitary there. And that's kind of, they might have seen you as, it's like they wanted to get to know you, but maybe you're a bit of a loner in some way, and you kept to yourself. We also have Pisces too. Pisces is actually, in the 12th house, right? In a natal chart. Well, not in everybody's natal chart, but in a traditional placement. Its traditional placement would be in the 12th house, which is about being alone, being removed. And so maybe you're a bit of a loner, and it's like they wanted to bring you out of that. That was their first impression. They might have seen you as a bit, dreamy, or it's just like there was a spiritual connection between the two of you, is what I'm feeling more than anything. And then, so let's see. With how I see you now, okay, we have Justice, the Queen of Swords, and Temperance. I really love this Justice card under the Two of Cups in terms of, then and now. I feel like they feel like they see you as very balanced, as very fair, that they can talk to you about anything and you'll give them fair advice. I really feel like that. They see you as somebody that they can come to for advice, they can come to for knowledge. I feel like as they got to know you, they realized that you are more of a Queen of Swords, right? So that first impression with the Page of Swords, maybe there was a little bit of immaturity there, but now that they know you, they see a totally different side of you, right? You've grown a lot, or their impressions changed quite a bit. They see that you're very smart, that you're very intelligent. I think they saw that before, but I don't feel like you're quite as guarded. I think that you're more open than maybe you were before. But I do know one thing is that this person definitely feels like they can get honest opinions out of you that are very balanced and fair, but not rude, because the Temperance card is a very peaceful card. And so when you give advice, it's, again, there's that balance, there's that flow. You don't let your emotions get out of control. You say it from your heart, but with honesty and integrity, right? This person really sees you as somebody who's very honest, for sure. That's a definite impression of you that they see. So where they might have thought you might have been sneaky before with that Seven of Swords, I don't see that now. So maybe before, in their first impression, for some of you, they could have seen you as somebody who might ditch them or disappear on them. But they see that you're not like that you're very balanced and constant, in their life in some way. Let's see. Oh my goodness, we have too many coming out there. The Square in Leo's coming out. So with Leo, well, it's my rising sign. So, but they have the Lover. So it says expressive, creative, loving, playful, warm, overt, self-confident, flirtatious, glowing, bedazzling, extroverted, vital, guileless, egotistical, juicy, proud, trusting, and excessive. I feel like they see you as very beautiful, honestly, with this Leo card. And it's very, there's a warmness to you, right? Because, you're not just all analytical. There is a warmness to you. There's a peacefulness to you that they see in you. And a confidence, too, in your beliefs. Maybe you're much more confident in your beliefs than you were previously. And maybe you're a bit more extroverted than you were before. you're not as shy as maybe before. And that just could be with them. That doesn't have to mean in general. It's just like you're way more open than you were. And they realize that, you know, you're a very loving person. I feel like they saw that potential in you for sure before. But we also have squares, so challenges. There can be tensions with this, you know, with squares in our chart. But the thing about squares is that you can work them out. Like it says, works out, reconciles. We work out the squares in our lives. They're just our challenges that we face. And so they might have seen you as, you know, that you've faced a lot of challenges, or that you're able to take on challenges head on with confidence and authority. You know, that you can see things. There's just a lot of balance that they see in you, really, with this justice and the temperance. Emotional balance, but also a balance of the mind. You're not seen by them as somebody who is imbalanced at all, honestly. So let's see. I'm going to get some charms for their first impressions. I'm going to stop there. So we got Cancer coming out, little kitty cat in the stars. The love between a grandmother and granddaughter is forever. You are always in my heart, Little Mermaid. Sagittarius, Mermaid. I think this is Taurus right here. I need to look at them all again together, but I'm pretty sure that's Taurus. It's not Capricorn. Okay, so let's get into your charms here for their first impression. Two mermaids, definitely someone that's very magical and beautiful. Perhaps, again, elusive, right? We never see mermaids. They say that they see them, but then they always disappear. And it can also be someone who's very enticing. Think about like a siren, for instance. Somebody who entices people, that draws them in. I think that was part of their first impression of you. We also have live your dream. So perhaps they saw you as trying to live some dreams of yours and going after things you want. We have Sagittarius, so maybe, you know, you're quite, they saw a philosopher in you, somebody who is willing to learn, eager to learn, somebody who is, maybe you're from a different place or a different country, a different nationality, or maybe you travel. That could be for some of you. Just take that as it resonates. But we also have Cancer here, so you might have also been a homebody. Maybe you dreamt of travel for some of you, and then it's like, but you were still a homebody. And there could just be that duality between you. It's like you like going out, but then you need your alone time. You know what I mean? You like getting out and meeting new people, seeing new things, and experiencing new things, but you still need that time alone. That could be with that Seven of Swords. Maybe it's like you just had to get out of that situation and go home, you know, or something along those lines. With Taurus, you know, you're very practical. There's some earth energy in you. With that, you remember that Virgo, you know, card came out there, which is also an earth sign. So it's somebody that's, you know, focused on stability, focused on being a bit careful and cautious at times. So they might have seen you as cautious, especially with that Seven of Swords. That Seven of Swords can be about caution, actually, being a little bit careful and maybe knowing when to leave a situation, and not get involved. We also have, yeah, you are always in my heart. So again, an instant connection here with that Two of Cups, and you're always in my heart. And then with this, the little kitty cat and the stars, maybe stars had something to do with their first impression of you. Maybe you talked about astrology, maybe you talked about the stars, maybe you were looking at the stars, or maybe you just had a dreamy quality to you that they saw in you. We also have that love between a grandmother and granddaughter is forever. That's interesting that came out again. So maybe there's something about your grandmother in their first impression of you, or maybe you mentioned her, or maybe this is just a message to you separately from this, from a grandmother that's passed. We also have Arthur with his angry fist, his annoyed fist. So maybe they saw you as a bit frustrated, a little bit, like I said, you might have come off as a little bit like tense or rude, or, you know what I mean, that was just maybe their impression of you. And I know that's not a fun one to hear, but, you know, I think we've all heard that. Oh, I thought you were so stuck up, or I thought you were this. But nevertheless, this person felt so drawn to you despite that. Maybe you were nervous when you first met, you know, because sometimes I don't know, I do this when I'm nervous. It's very annoying. Everyone makes fun of me about it because it's like nervous habit I have. And I do it when I'm excited too, by the way. And I hate it. And I didn't realize I was doing it until someone made fun of me. It was actually my father-in-law. He started making fun of me. And I was like, wait, what? Why is he doing that thing with his hands? And then I realized that I do it all the time. So let's see. The impression of you now. Okay. Let's see here. We had a lot this time. Oh, wow. Justice and Libra right there. A key. Sagittarius. Okay, so we still have some qualities here. Taurus and Sagittarius are still coming up. We have Libra coming out. Now we have the, oh yeah, okay. I choose strength, you versus you, angels, mermaid. There's definitely still some magic that they see in you. I feel like they've seen you with this little mushroom. I'm going to start here as having leveled up a lot. What does the mushroom do in Mario? It makes you bigger. And so they may have seen you as leveling up in life now. That's their impression of you. We have Cinderella coming out too. So, you know, in terms of Cinderella, it's like somebody who maybe was in a shy, insecure place because of her circumstances, but then blossoming and becoming more, standing up for herself more, being more, you know, going after what she wants and dreaming and actually trying to make it happen, right? And hardworking, right? She made her dress. Well, she fixed her dress after it got messed up. Tried to anyway. She, you know, tried to go to the ball. Well, her friends helped her actually. Maybe she tried to give up actually, but you know what I mean. Somebody who was a dreamer. They still see, you know, see you in that way. And then we have, again, magical, so with the unicorn and the mermaid. Maybe you're still a bit elusive at times, but I feel like you're more balanced with that temperance card. You know how to handle your emotions. You know how to balance them better than you did before. You're more comfortable in that water energy than you were before. We also have Sally, so someone who's very loving and supporting. And let's see, we have the key. So somebody who has a lot of knowledge, the keys to a lot of knowledge. Perhaps, maybe you have a lot of answers for them in terms of advice. And we also have that I choose strength. You know, being strong. You're a very strong person. You choose to be strong. When life gets you down, you just, and I love this bee, by the way. That's a lot about temperance. It's just being peaceful, letting things, just being in existence. Very Zen-like. And I do feel like, you have a lot more knowledge and intuition now. A lot more freedom of your thought. A lot more free-flowing thoughts and emotions. Again, is what I'm feeling there. And again, like we have that Sagittarius. So you might still have that Sagittarian quality to you about wanting to learn, yearning to learn, learning new things, wanting to get... maybe also you're a good teacher. You have good advice. You have sage advice, philosophical advice. But there's still that grounded energy to you, and still that, you know, differing opinions, balanced opinions there with Libra. And we have you versus you. So maybe a lot of your battles before were about, you know, you versus you, and now you understand that a lot more, which is why you're maybe not as shy as you used to be, or you're trying to come out of that, and they see that you're like, it's just me versus me. It's not me versus the world, and I don't know. I just feel like this sense of balance that came into your, you know, into your life and into your personality. When you're like, the only person against me is me, you know, and I'm gonna fight that. And that could have been what some of your leveling up came from. And then we have angels watching over me. So they do see you as maybe protected by angels. Very protected in general. Maybe they find you as lucky, or that you've survived things, that you are, it could be that you're an angel watching over them. They see you as somebody who watches over them in some way, that helps them, that's there for them. So that's what I'm seeing for you guys that chose pile number 4. I hope that this reading helps you and resonates. I know it was a bit long today. Sorry about that. But yeah, if you chose pile number 4, let me know in the comments below so I can give your comment a heart. And if you would like to, you know, have a personal reading with me, that's all down in the description box below. There are Etsy readings, so you can get 1 question, 2 questions, 3 questions. By the way, the Women's Day sale is still on right now. I have, I think, about 15 as I speak left in stock, unless I've sold more, I'm not sure. That's going to give you a 2-question reading for $25 instead of $28, so it's 10% discount right now until that sells out, and then I'll just end that listing. As well, there's my wish list, so, you know, if you want to get something off my wish list, oh my lord, that always gets you a reading in return as a thank you. So just be sure, if you get something off either of my wish lists, to leave a way to contact you either through Instagram or through email, so then I can, you know, contact you to set up that reading. And all my readings, by the way, are unlisted YouTube videos, so it's an unlisted video, so it's just between the 2 of us, and it would be like, you know, like this type of style. So anyways, guys, I will see you all in the next reading. Take care of yourselves, and bye bye.